Are we doing it, Matt? Are we doing it live?
We're doing it semi-live.
We're doing it semi-live. That's right, everyone. Hello and welcome to this semi-live edition of the Comic Multiverse, where the worlds of nerd meet. It's our 52nd episode, Matt. We've been doing this for, God, a little over a year now, it seems.
It is. It's really strange, especially with like Cape TV now as well. We've done like close to 70 episodes of comic book multiverse podcasts.
Yeah, we've done a shit ton of things, Matt. You know, it's hard to believe it was only so long ago we hit about 100 for the old Blood, Sweat comics. But, you know, like a phoenix from the ashes, that show became this one.
Yeah, and we've been doing pretty well with ourselves, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think we've come very far. I think we've done some cool shit. And it's really nice to see all the fans who are out here right now. We got at least 24 people watching right now. Thank you for coming out on a Monday night to do this. I know we picked a really, really weird time to do this. It's just kind of the night we record anyway. But if this becomes a regular thing, and God willing, this will become a regular thing over on Matt's channel, subscribe to him if you haven't already. We'll definitely be sure to work out all the kinks. I'm sure one thing you'll notice right now, or maybe you don't, if you're watching this on SoundCloud later, you have no video of this. We tried to get that working. We tried really hard. It didn't quite make it.
It almost worked. It almost worked. We were like sitting here and it's like, okay, it's working. And then Joel did something and it fucked up.
Yeah, it's all my fault. Well, hey, you know what? Big ups to Matt for making this work the way that it did, because it wouldn't have if not for him. It really wouldn't have.
I tried very hard with the software and everything. I learnt everything in like a day. So yeah.
I think some people are saying they have a couple buffering issues now, is what they're saying in the chat. Oh boy.
Nothing we can really do about that.
Right, but the audio will be saved, everyone, is what we are trying to get across to you. Right, Matt? Am I right?
Yes. The audio and video will be saved in SoundCloud and on our usual places we do the Comic Multiverse.
Yep. So just try and bear with us, live audience here. We want to try and get you, the best quality show we absolutely can. If it buffers in and out, we apologize for that.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt, how has your week been?
Pretty cool, pretty chill.
Same here. I set up like a new digital cable box, so that was fun. That was like the extent of my week.
Cool.
That's what I did, trying to catch up on my shows and everything, because, obviously we're going to have to do that because we got another Cape TV coming down the pipeline soon. I've yet to really dig into Legion, but we're going to have to start.
Yeah, I started watching the episodes that I didn't end up watching. I think I only have like 4 episodes left, and they're pretty cool. Still same weird sort of stuff.
Yeah. Don't worry, comic book fanatic, and don't worry, everyone else in the chat. We will get to Thor. This is the nice getting to know you period of the show to ease you on in to the hardcore comic talking.
Yep.
I promise. I mean, too, do we want to hop right into that now? Because I guess that's the hottest piece of comic news everyone wants to hear about. The Thor trailer dropped today, and what a trailer it was.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere as well. It came out just when I was about to head off to bed, so I'm like, nah, I'm going to stay up and wait for this trailer. I want to see it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I can't believe it took me this long to realize, man, you know what Thor really needs? Led Zeppelin in his life.
And it's the perfect song as well for it.
It is. It actually says Hammer of the Gods. It references Valhalla.
It is. It's perfect music for it.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And beyond that, it just looks cool. They're digging into so much of, Thor's mythology. We get to see what might be Muspelheim, whatever, the place of the fire giants, might be Hell. We definitely see Hela the goddess in this, and she is just wrecking house in this.
Oh my god. Straight off the bat, we're sure she goddamn destroys Mjolnir.
I really hope Kate Blanchett can be every bit as good as Loki was in that first one. I'm hoping she can, kind of break the trend of lackluster Marvel villains, because just judging from this trailer, it looks like she might be able to.
Well, I think, maybe they'll probably be going off most recent comics, but maybe she might be involved in Infinity War a little bit, because obviously in like the Thanos comics and everything, Hela's kind of, or in the Unworthy Thor book as well, Hela's kind of taken the place of death as Thor's.
She is a mistress
paramour.
of death.
Yeah, yeah.
I could definitely see them going that way with it, and if it means we get more of this actress, please, I hope so.
Yeah, it looks so great, and she's got a big horned helmet and everything.
She does. How great does that look? Actually, Ian brings up something interesting in the chat right now. He wonders if this version of Hela will be Loki's daughter like she was in the comics. That was a thing, but granted, that was like 3 or 4 retcons ago. Hela was the daughter of a Loki that doesn't technically exist anymore. The Loki who fought the Avengers originally in their first run.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it. They might make like maybe some references to it, like maybe jokingly references or something, but probably not.
I could see Tom Hiddleston, who's your daddy? And what does he do? Is it me? I have lots of kids. I can't keep track.
Yeah.
Beyond that, too, we get our first actual talking look at the Grand Master. I think he's great.
Yeah, he looks really cool. I expected a lot from Jeff Goldblum, and he looks surprisingly weird. He looks a lot like the Collector in that way, that kind of weird look. He's got like the same sort of makeup on as well as the Collector.
Yeah. Well, they are related. They are part of the same family, so that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if they'll even mention that. I wonder if they'll mention the fact that, hey, you know, the Collector is my kind of brother.
Yeah, they might be building towards, like, all these type of people, all these kind of, like, Eternals are kind of related in that sort of way.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you know, how do you top something as awesome as a superhero fight club, a superhero gladiatorial pit?
I know, right? That's going to be so awesome to see.
Also, too, you know, they're not afraid to let Thor be way funnier in this. Like, he was always a little bit more serious and a little bit more forlorn in the other 2 movies, but here he's just straight up cracking jokes. Oh, he's my friend. I know him from work.
They've made him the Thor from those little shorts they did for the Civil War DVD. They're channeling that through them, and I'm so glad that's a really funny Thor. It's
a nice place for him to live, I think, as a character. Furthermore than that, you know, the first 2 Thors, they were very sword and sorcery. They were very fantasy-based. This one is going full-on cosmic, much like how the comics are now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We get to see all sorts of cosmic stuff. It's very Kirby-looking as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, I can't wait to see the worlds they build in this Thor thing. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked even if, you know, he runs across a couple Guardians, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
You got to figure they're hanging out in the same part of space and everything, so it would really only make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Definitely a fun time. I mean, so yeah, I mean, Thor killing it. Could not be more excited for this one. I think this has every chance to be the best one of the series.
Yeah, oh yeah, God, yeah. It definitely looks really great and unique as well, especially like as you said from the other ones, it's really kind of like hardcore sci-fi cosmic sort of thing, whereas the other ones were sword and sorcery, so yeah.
I mean, I know I'm in the great minority of people when I say I actually quite enjoyed the first 2 Thor movies. Definitely the first one more than the second, but I mean, yeah. I can see why people kind of look down on them as the quote-unquote lesser of the Marvel movies, but this one seems to just be bringing everything to the party.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that's that, everybody. That's Thor. Looks great. Can't wait. And from, you know, a great high point of Marvel this week to probably one of the biggest low points of Marvel this week. Not that they needed any more egg on their face, but there was a huge controversy, and I would call it a scandal, actually. Scandal more than a controversy that came up this week involving X-Men Gold #1.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere. It
did. You know, I was expecting that I was going to be fully able to ignore the X-Men. Apparently, I couldn't ignore the X-Men because of this. Artist Adrian Saif, I can't quite pronounce it, but yeah, he got himself into a world of trouble this week when we found out he was actually putting a bunch of hateful messages, coded messages within the first issue, referencing the Quran and essentially killing Jews and Christians in the Middle East. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Yeah, in all books, he could put it in. He chose an X-Men book.
Yes, a book created by two Jewish men, currently being written by Mark Guggenheim, a Jewish man who in the course of the story, Kitty Pryde, a Jewish character, probably one of the most beloved Jewish characters, becomes the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah.
That's the comic he put it in.
Along with like people who, I think like Colossus is, I think he's an atheist. We've got Nightcrawler, who's a Catholic priest. I know we've got more Jewish characters now. We obviously have Christian characters and everything, and yeah, whoa.
Just yikes.
Yeah.
Just freaking yikes. I think Kirk Busiek said it the best on Twitter when it's like, oh, what did this guy do? He literally drew himself out of a job.
He did, and the guy actually had released a statement where he literally said his career was over because of that, and I'm like, well, it serves you right, mate, for putting that in.
Yeah, no fucking shit. I read the same thing you did. It actually came out not long before we started recording, and it was all very woe is me type thing. And it's like, I have to stop and think to myself, I'm like, has this guy done any other work? And yeah, he's drawn a couple other comics I enjoyed. He did like some Batgirl annuals and he did some Aquaman annuals. But to think that he just came out of the way now and was just like, oh, I'm going to use this X-Men book as like a sounding board for my own personal hatreds. And it's just like, god damn. Now, I don't blame the editor in this situation. A lot of people were throwing, shit at the editor, being like, oh, they should have caught this, you're not doing your job and everything. It was a very obscure reference.
Yeah, like,
that the dude put in.
I'm sure most of us wouldn't have even known that. Like, we wouldn't have even known about that unless someone on the internet said, hey, I know what that all means, and told us. Like, we would have no idea.
The chat actually has some good ones here. It's not my favorite, saying apparently he put similar coded messages in Batgirl. Oh no.
I expect like people will now start looking into his old issues for stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he did it once, he would almost certainly do it again. What happened to the good old days, Matt, when, Disney artists would just put, porn covers and draw dicks in the background? What happened to the good wholesome days of dicks in the background? Everyone can laugh at a penis, but no, you gotta put a bunch of angry, hate-mongering shit in there. That's not good. Another thing Nerdshark brings up here, everyone hates it, rightly so, but that probably won't stop people from buying 50 copies for the future when they become collector's items. He's not wrong, because here's the thing. They did actually put out a full, recall of this comic. They very rarely recall comics, and recalled comics often do actually become collector's items.
I know for one thing that when I saw that, I was like, I'm very tempted to go see if I can buy one of these copies.
I mean, depending on how many they made, everyone will probably be sitting on one, and it won't probably cost near as much as you think, but still, I could see them doing that. Just a really unfortunate state of affairs for this. What's even weirder was Marvel's handling of the whole situation, because they pretty much came out and said, oh, he'll be punished accordingly. And all I could think to myself is like, don't you mean fired?
Yeah, that was
Shouldn't
really
he be
weird.
Fired?
That was really weird. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't say fired. I think because he's contracted for the next 2 or 3 books, so he's probably like quarter way through or halfway through them. So I don't know.
Right, it's either fire him or not get a comic out. I mean, honestly, I think fans would understand if they were true X-Men fans. They would understand. It's like, yeah, we had to make this horrible man go away.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, it seems like he knows what's up. He knows the writing's on the wall, and he'll probably never get hired again from anything else.
Yeah, a small imprint will probably hire him, or like someone in his home country, like an imprint in his home country or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet's the internet. Maybe he'll get a job drawing propaganda comics. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, just a really unfortunate thing for comic fans, for X-Men fans, just kind of for everybody. That whole situation, just not cool, man, not cool.
No.
Is all I can really say about it. But moving on from an admittedly really depressing story to a story that I think we'll all say is much more fun and much more entertaining. Hellboy, Mike Mignola's creation, is apparently getting his very own whiskey, Matt.
Awesome.
Yes, it's a cinnamon whiskey. It's going to be a small batch rollout that you can get in a couple stores all over the United States. Now, there's something that should become a collector's item for a good reason. Hellboy whiskey.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool idea.
Now, I'm not much of a drinker, but apparently it's a cinnamon whiskey, and I know some people hate cinnamon whiskey just like, on principle. Be like, hey, I'm not a college girl. I'm not going to drink cinnamon whiskey. Give me my Hellboy whiskey straight up, please.
110 proof or something.
This actually comes on the heel of another comic book company, Valiant, giving Exo, Man-O-War, and other characters their own beers.
Yeah, I saw that last week, yeah.
That's a cool idea. That sounds like something they should do more of. Hey, chat, because this is a live show and we can interact with you. What hero do you think should get their own booze? And if so, what kind of booze should it be? I mean, obviously, Logan should get his own kind of Canadian beer.
Yeah. Is he a beer drinker, or do you think he's like a scotch or a whiskey guy?
I think he drinks whatever's around, honestly, but I think, a Canadian Wolverine-like beer would be really great. But would it be an IPA or would it be a lager? This seems like something we need to dig through the comics to find out what his exact taste would be in this situation. Who else would get one? Martian Manhunter would need to get his own absinthe because it's green just like him. It's Not My Favorite had a good one there saying Jessica Jones would get her own line of booze called Who Needs Friends?
Ned Shark says he needs Tony Stark needs one called Demon in a Bottle. That's a good idea.
Oh, that's so obvious. That's so good. And like the picture on the label would literally just be the picture of him from the comic where he's all freaking out. He's all disheveled. Oh my God, that would sell. Like you would only have to make a little of those and they would sell really, really good. Amazo, Uncle Ben's Dead Man Moonshine.
So you like drink it and just die.
Just die and say, with great power comes great responsibility. You didn't know that Uncle Ben was a moonshine drinker, but he is. Batman would, of course, need to be one of those, like, really dark liquors. What's that stuff? Oh, it's like Greek. It tastes like black licorice, which means I hate it because I don't like the taste of black licorice. What's that stuff? Not ouzo.
I have no idea.
It's something like that. Batman can be one of those. Amazing Zero with another one. Roy needs a drink called an 8-ball. Oh, that's sad but true. Yeah, you only need one and it ruins your life. You drink enough 8-balls and before you know it, you're wearing your trucker cap on backwards. Oh, that's sad, but that's funny. This is a whole game we could play. What hero would be what booze or what cocktail? We need like some girly drinks for the female hero there. There's got to be like a drink like a Starfire or a Black Canary. Ooh, a Black Canary is just a White Russian, but you use chocolate milk.
There you go.
There you go, man. That's what we need to make for the next Comic Multiverse live show. We need to mix ourselves up some Black Canaries. Oh, Dante Turtle with a good one. Matt Murdock's drink would be the piss because that's always where his life ends up.
It's true.
It's 1 part Catholic guilt, 1 part apple juice, and 1 part whatever booze you have left over from the night before of horrible drinking. Oh, this is good, Chad. This is why we like doing live shows, because we can talk directly and you can interact. This is fun. Oh Oh man. So I guess moving on from there, again, there wasn't a hell of a lot of news this week, but I figure once we're done with the news, we can just take questions directly from the chat, all people who stuck around there for when they did. So hey, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Everyone remembers that one, right? That's a story that's usually on top of people's lists of like Deadpool stories that they read and really enjoyed. Well, apparently it's getting a sequel now, just in time for the Deadpool movie sequel.
Oh, what a coincidence.
I know, right? Ain't it funny when that happens, Matt? When, you know, the times just totally line up to it?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's literally called something to the effect of Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. I don't know how you do a story like that. Maybe he jumps universes and starts killing more of the Marvel Universe in another universe, or if it's just like a complete and utter do-over of Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I never read the first one, so yeah.
Neither did I. Everyone tells me you need to read it. I never read the first one.
Yeah, I haven't read any of those Kill the Marvel Universe books.
No, maybe that makes me a bad fan. Maybe that makes me a bad fan because I never read them. It's just, you know, the title itself, you know, always kind of turned me off because I'm like, oh, it's a larf. I get it. You know, it's a larf. It's a farce. It's whatever you want to call it. But people seem to enjoy it, and I'm sure it'll sell 1 million copies in the lead up to his new movie. I'm sure people will be clamoring for new Deadpool books. So, hey, more power to him. Am I right?
Yeah, the one thing I'm always interested in is when they do something like this, how many variant covers it gets.
For Deadpool 2, probably 1 million.
Yeah, one from every artist that's ever worked in comics ever. Even the dead ones.
It's gonna be... Oh, yeah. Jack Kirby comes back from the grave to draw one. Oh, my God. Yeah, 1 billion copies. And 1 billion copies Rick and Morty, and 1 billion copies Dead. Kills the Marvel Universe too in 1 billion years. Hello, Webslinger. Hello, everyone else who's still filtering into this. So that basically does it for news this week. It was a very slow week. There was some big stuff. There was some small stuff. I guess, Matt, what do we want to do now? Or, you know, maybe I'll ask the chat this. Do we want to hop directly into what we read this week for you guys? Or should we take a couple questions from the chat and then hop on over into what we read this week?
Let's see what the chat says. Chat wants 9 more seasons, so
9 more seasons of this show. You got it, chat. We will do just that. Also, too, chat, I think there might be a bit of a delay on this on top of the buffering issue. Again, we're sorry. This is our first time doing this. It's our first time. Be gentle with us. Go says he wants to hear books first. Okay. So let's see what everyone else has got to say. So far, Ghost is the only one to vote. Okay, Dante wants chat. So that's 2-1 talk chat. Again, if you want some questions, get some good ones in. 1,000 episodes comic multiverse, Morty, and 1,000 episodes more. Nerd Shark wants some chat. Okay, if you want some chat, then guys, you know, start asking us up some questions. Oh, Jose is saying there, anyone excited for Injustice 2 comics out tomorrow? I guess, Matt, you were Mr. King Injustice, so that's starting up again soon.
Yeah, this week, actually, and I am excited because it's Tom Taylor writing it again, so I know it's going to be decent because he started off all of this.
Yeah, I forgot to catch up. And I feel like maybe I should because I've seen all the money that everyone else has made about talking about Injustice and all the crazy view counts they've gotten. And I'm like, maybe I should hop into this. I don't know.
Just read years 1 to 5 and skip ground zeros.
Yeah, I'll do that. Roger Briggs with an old one saying, hey, Joel Vereen, you ever going to play more God Hand? Probably not, because God Hand lives on my PlayStation 3, and I can't go back to streaming the old way.
The old PlayStation 3.
Ooh. Yeah. Did you read Royals #1, Joel? I did not. Matt, what'd you think of it, Matt?
I thought it was really cool. It was a much better first issue in this new era of Inhumans than X-Men Gold was. And we actually got some actual plot, and it was really cool. I'm not going to spoil it until what we read this week, but it was really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could spoil it if you wanted. I was basically giving you free range to talk about it, but that's fine. We'll talk about it then.
Yeah.
In honor of the Rick and Morty episode, what series arc / one-arm man for the comic multiverse overall? What does that mean? Does that mean what one we really liked? Or what would ours be?
Of Rick and
That's
Morty?
right, Web Slinger. I do want me some... Yeah, I don't understand, but rephrase that one. Wade McCarley with another old reference. Are you ever going to finish that DBZ movie review series? I don't know. Probably not with all the comics. Also, Web Slinger saying Joel wants that Mulan Szechuan sauce. I do. I watched a whole cooking video by Babish where he basically cooked up 3 different versions of what he thought it would be. Soapy Phil, what's up with the broken up superhero art for the comic multiverse Podbean SoundCloud thumbnail? I don't know, Matt. You made that one. Ask him about it.
I don't know. It's just a design I made.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the animated films coming out this year? Yeah, I guess we got a fair amount. We got that new animated Spider-Man movie coming out. That should be fun.
When's that come out? Because I've heard literally nothing about it.
I think they've moved it around a little bit. Does Wreck-It Ralph 2 come out this year where they take on the internet? I like Wreck-It Ralph.
I think that was next year.
Oh, right, because animation takes a long time. Oh, Locked on Target TV had a good one here. Squirrel Girl is getting a TV show. Yeah, it was supposed to be a New Warriors show, but now it's like Squirrel Girl and the New Warriors, where she's like actually in the lead now. I think that's so funny how her star has risen so much now that, you know, it's Squirrel Girl and the others.
Yeah, that's definitely really interesting. I like Schoolgirl. I haven't read her actual book, but I've like seen her when she's interacted with like X-23 and like a bunch of other heroes, and she's always been really fun.
Yeah, I read the first couple issues and I thought it was fun and interesting. I like she fought Kraven the Hunter, and I'm like, that's a really good one for them to fight.
Yeah.
Wait again, have I seen the Judas Contract? Yeah, wasn't crazy about it. I like Justice League versus Teen Titans more. As crazy as that is to think, the Judas... Or no, go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, everyone knows I've seen it.
Yeah, you have. Apparently you caught some major shit for your take on it.
I know, it's one of my most viewed videos.
Dang. I mean, the thing about the Judas Contract is it's about a lot of stuff. It's the first time we see Robin become Nightwing. It's the first time we get Deathstroke's origin story. It's the first time, Jericho gets introduced into the Teen Titans. There was a lot of stuff to cover. The movie really boils it down to its basic, most straightforward parts. And I don't think a lot of that makes for an interesting movie a lot of the time.
No.
It also kind of looks like it was made on the cheap, but as I mentioned before, I have it on very good authority. These DC animated films get made for cheaper and cheaper.
It doesn't surprise me.
So, Soapy Phil saying, I'm amazed you got more shit for your Judas Contract review than you did for Batman v Superman or Suicide Squad.
Dude, it really surprised me because I put it up and then went out and then came home, went to bed, got up and checked it, and I was just copping so much shit from it. What the fuck was going on?
You know what I think it is? I think people are defensive of the DC animated universe because it's like the last bastion of genuinely good shit, and like people are where I was a while ago, where they're like kind of a denial period, like no, the animated movies are as good as they have since Flashpoint. There's no problem, they're fine, they've all been good, they've all been fine.
Well, the problem is they try and shove it into that weird New 52 universe they're all building, but it's not the New 52. It's just so weird what they've been doing with them.
Hey, did we talk about the Batman Harley Quinn animated movie last week, or am I just remembering things wrong?
I can't actually remember.
Should be interesting because it's going back to the original Batman the Animated Series art style, and they got Lauren Lester back, the original voice of Nightwing, who hasn't been involved in any of these ever. This will be his first appearance, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, it seems really cool. Paul Dini's back, though. The screenshots we saw of it, the art looks kind of weird. I'm just gonna put it down to it being unfinished, but it looks so strange. They got the new sort of stuff they're doing with the new movies, but with Paul Dini's art, so it looks really weird.
Yeah. I mean, I hold out hope for it that maybe it won't take itself so damn seriously. That's been a big issue with the last couple DC animated movies. They just took themselves too goddamn seriously.
Yeah.
That's why I like Justice League versus Teen Titans, because, you know, there was like some fun teenage exuberance there that was missing. See, DNG 477 brought up a really interesting point that I was actually going to mention in my review if I made one. I might be a little too late now, but he says, why was Beast Boy, like, why does he look exactly the same in the flashback from the beginning of the movie as he does in modern times? Why is he forever a teen, even though he should be the exact same age as Dick now?
Cheap animation.
That's an excellent question. I thought the same thing, because it's like, oh, isn't it creepy that Slade is forcing himself on this teenage girl? I'm like, well, apparently Beast Boy is old enough to know better, so... And he's being very pushy, too, which admittedly he absolutely was in the original comic. He was very pushy on that girl back then, and the fact that they kept that in the new movie is interesting. Yeah, Zero's right. At what point does Beast Boy stop being Beast Boy and start being Beast Man?
That's a good question, eh? Because he's always been Beast Boy.
Or Changeling. Sometimes he calls himself Changeling when he gets a little bit older. But you're right. I guess he can't be Beast Man, because then you'd probably have to pay the He-Man people, because they'd be like, nah, Beast Man.
They'd send Skeletor after you.
Oh, man, see, there's a crossover right there. Teen Titans, He-Man. I know they did one with Justice League He-Man, so they need that joke just so they can have Beast Boy and Beast Man meet each other. That's what they need.
Yeah, that'd be great. Are you my dad?
Yeah, are you my dad? No. Will you be my dad? Because my dad is really shitty, actually. My dad is shitty, Xavier of the DC universe. People forget that Beast Boy's dad is a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tevye brings up an interesting point, too. Yeah, Donna Troy shows up out of nowhere at the end of this movie, which makes me think they'll continue on with these.
Is it Donna Troy, or is it, who is the other Wonder Girl?
Casey Sandsmark?
Yeah.
She has dark hair, so she's probably Donna. She's probably the original Wonder Girl, which makes me think, man, I would love to see the animated universe take a crack at her origin story, because it is fucking nuts.
Are we going to use the New 52, or are we going to use like the one that came a couple of issues later, or the one that's now being told in Titans?
They're all nuts, and they almost all make no sense. Like, they are all... She is Wolverine levels of what is wrong with your history. Like, you think she would be so simple, but she's not. Like, if you ask me, explain Donna Troy's origin, I'd be like, I can't. I literally can't.
Which one?
Yeah, I can't. It's like her and Cable are the other one, where it's like, oh, explain their stories. Nope. Not gonna do any... Dante Turtle, Matt and Joel, you have $1 billion budget. You have to adapt one Marvel or DC event into a movie. What do you choose? Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, first I'd be asking who the fuck trusted $1 billion to us.
Yeah, that person, is going to get fired very soon, and they probably deserve it. Also, do I have to spend all the $1 billion on a film, or can I pocket a little for myself?
Can I make like a shitty animated film and just pocket the rest?
Yeah, can I fly to Korea and like get my own animation studio and be like, draw this for me? I mean, I'm sure you would probably want to do something Superman related when you probably do like a good Superman origin.
I wouldn't do an origin story for Superman. Everyone already knows his origin.
It's true.
I just do one.
What would you do?
Set a couple of years into his career. He's fighting Lex Luthor or Metallo or someone. Just a fun film.
Yeah, I think he said event. I think it would be really fun to do like a Forever Evil, just completely blow people away, where it's like, here's all these evil versions of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman from another universe, and here's all these DC Universe villains led by Lex Luthor who needs to stop them.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And the good thing is, like, with writing the film, you could probably make it better than the actual event was.
You could, and I mean the fact that Snyder's Justice League acts so evil anyway, you could just cast them as the crime.
There you go. Half the cast already there.
just to really fuck with people, have them be in the role. That would be a good one. Amazing Zero, what about Amazon's Attack? Hey, you could do a better version of Amazon's Attack with some money that would actually be kind of interesting. Superheroes versus Amazons.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Tevia saying, would you adapt Superman Reborn for an animated movie? I think you can make a pretty good animated movie out of Superman Reborn.
I'd have to do a couple of movies beforehand before doing that one. You confuse the fuck out of people.
It's true. It's true. It's tight and concise, but yeah, you would need to explain that Superman went away for a bit, had a kid, and came back.
Yeah.
A lot of what's great about it is only great because you know the continuity surrounding it is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big issue with it, definitely. Yeah, Nerd Shark, Justice League versus Suicide Squad. I think that could make a really good animated movie too, actually, because it's also short, concise, and you don't need to know much.
And it's a Suicide Squad, so it'd sell.
Yeah, absolutely. If you meet Zack Snyder, what would you guys do? I would say, hey, I would be very nice, but I would try and feel out what sort of human being he was.
Yeah, in interviews, I get he's kind of like this guy who he'd probably be pretty cool to hang out with, but yeah, I don't know.
Comic book fantastic with another good one there. Would you rather have good comic book movies but not so good comics, or bad comic book movies but really good comics?
Well, if you had bad comic books and good comic book movies, wouldn't the comic book movies be based off the bad comic books, so they'd be bad themselves?
Well, I think he means like right now, where it's like, all comics turn to shit, but all comic book movies are 10 out of 10 from now on.
Oh man, don't make me ask that.
I know, that's like a real, like, who do you love more, your mother or your father?
Yeah, I can't choose that.
I mean, I guess if you really twisted my arm, I've lived a majority of my life with really bad comic book movies when they weren't making good ones, pre, like Marvel Cinematic Universe, pre, like Nolan fixing up Batman there for at least 2 movies and a half. I'm used to living in that world, so I guess I would go there. Also, as a comic book YouTuber, I can make way more videos about comic books than I could about comic book movies.
Yeah, and way more about bad comic books. People love hearing about bad comic books.
Yeah. Which, it's funny because, you and I are basically our own bosses, Matt. We get to basically choose whatever we review. And I know some people have complained on my own channel, why do you always score things so high? Why are your scores so high? I'm like, because I read what I like. And I really like what I read. That's why.
Yeah, same. I've been trying to read books that I know I probably won't like, or books that I don't really know a lot about that could lead me to like them or not like them. But yeah, I usually just choose books I know I'm going to like.
I mean, really, the only books from the DC Rebirth that I stopped reading completely were Suicide Squad and Justice League, because I just thought they were, not up to snuff. I wouldn't even call them really bad. They were just kind of boring. And even books that I've fallen off of and have every intention to get back to reviewing on the channel, like Aquaman and Wonder Woman, are still really good. They're just kind of hard to talk about.
Yeah, and again, with the amount of comics we read every week and review every week, it gets hard.
Absolutely. Webslinger saying, hey, Matt and Joel, what about Jimmy Hudson in X-Men Blue? We kind of touched on this before, the son of the Ultimate Wolverine showing up in the main universe. Do we really need any more Wolverine characters?
Oh, apparently we do.
I mean, we've got Old Man Logan, we've got Laura, we've got possibly Daken if they ever bring him back. OG Wolverine if they ever bring him back. Don't dilute the Wolverine brand. We are at dangerously close to maximum Wolverines as it stands right now.
Yeah, I imagine. I wonder if they're going to do like a Wolveriverse or something, a Wolverine verse, like Spider-Verse with Wolverines.
They keep threatening a Venom verse. Yeah, they kept threatening a Venomverse, so I don't doubt they would go that way if they really had to.
Yeah.
Amazing Zero. So, guys, Cyborg still has a book. He does, a nice fan. I'm sorry your name is escaping me right now. I get too many messages, but he actually straight up gave us his own little review of like, and this is what's happening in Cyborg right now. Apparently, he's fighting a friend from childhood who created like a Matrix video game program. He had to go in to fight him.
Jesus Christ.
Cyborg's been busy, apparently.
Yeah, it sounds like
He's
it.
been very, very... So the 33 people still watching right now, any more questions that you're burning to ask? Or should we hop into what we read this week? I'm not saying we won't come back to questions. I'm just saying, for show purposes, for re-uploading this later. And again, sorry about any buffering issues or anything you're running into. We'll definitely upload a good, clean audio version of this later if you've been having trouble. But yes, any more burning questions before we hop right on into what we read this week? Yeah. Anyone? Oh, hey, Generation West, you slept on in when I didn't see ya.
He's good at doing that.
How would I adapt Futures End, Tevia? How would I adapt Futures End, Tevia? I wouldn't, because I'm smart. Just read Spencer's astonishing Ant-Man run from going back and seeing how much he liked it. Well, that's good. It's not my favorite. I really enjoyed that Ant-Man run. I had a newfound respect for the character after reading that.
Cool.
Ooh, what Netflix series would you like to see? I assume he means what comic-based Netflix one. I mean, honestly, everything they're doing right now on Marvel seems good. I'm super stoked we're getting a Punisher Netflix show. I never thought that would happen.
Yeah, and that's coming very soon, apparently.
Yeah, from what I understand, there was that fan poster that had everyone all excited.
Yeah.
Yes, Trenton Brown, I did read the Samurai Jack comic. That was Jim Zub who wrote that. He's Canadian. He actually teaches one of my friends art at school. So, yeah, I definitely wanted to check that one out. Yeah, Amazing Zero, Moon Knight on Netflix, definitely that's a possibility. So is Blade. So is a lot of things we didn't think were possible could be possible now.
Yeah, I'd like a Blade series. That'd be really cool.
A great one from Roger Briggs here. If you want a Netflix Blade show, who would you get to play Blade? I mean, a lot of the people I would want, I think, are a little too old now. They probably want someone a little younger. Is Morris Chestnut still in stuff?
I think so. Every now and then.
How old is Morris Chestnut? He is... Oh, wow, Morris Chestnut is almost 50. Goddamn. Yeah, he's a little too old to play Blade. That being said, doesn't look a day over 30. Dude looks really good for his age. I mean, I don't watch that show Empire, but I'm sure Empire has a lot of great young actors who could probably be Blade.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what the guy who I'd want to play. He was in that O.J. Simpson show. What's his name? His name is escaping me at the moment. I can't remember what it is for the life. Oh, Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown? Let me Google this Sterling K. Brown. He sounds like a fancy London gentleman. Yeah. Hello, I'm Sterling K. Brown.
The only problem with that is that he's in Black Panther.
Oh, damn it, so you can't double dip. Fuck.
But I don't know who he's playing in Black Panther. I don't know who he's playing, though.
That's the real problem with this Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's getting so big now and sucking up so many good actors, you can't double dip anymore. Yeah, Michael J. White as Blade. Yeah, again, I think you fall into that problem where he's a little too old now for the role, but like 20 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
20 years ago, definitely. Who's the guy from Dexter? Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
He's pretty good. He can yell and be cool. I respect that. I respect the hell out of that. Let him be Blade.
I imagine he can ice skate uphill.
Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. Am I right? Dante Turtle saying Tom Jane should get a chance to be Moon Knight. He deserves some redemption. Yeah, kinda. I would say in this new Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm surprised they haven't brought Tom Jane into something.
And Tom Jane was such a good Punisher.
He really was. He was the right Punisher in the wrong movie. And Soapy brings up again saying, wasn't Alfred Woodward in both Luke Cage and Captain America Civil War as two different characters? Sterling can double dip. You're right, Soapy. You're right about that. Woodward was, but I think her character was only there for like 2 seconds, though, is the thing. Like, it was a walk-on and a walk-off.
Yeah, she was hardly in. She was just in that one scene near the start of the film.
Right, she was the one getting all up in Tony's face, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one last one from Nerd Shark, because I think this is a really good one, because it ties into what we were talking about. Then we'll talk about what we read this week. What DLC characters would you like to see for Injustice?
Well,
I mean, I'm already... Or no, go ahead.
Oh, I know they've already got like 10 characters ready for DLC. So it could be anyone.
Oh, of course, don't they always?
Yeah.
I mean, we already got Darkseid coming as DLC because hey, he'll probably play a part in that new movie. I mean, I'm already kind of set for characters because I got Green Arrow and I got Bane and I got Captain Cold, and Captain Cold looks like one of those characters I want to get good at.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. I'd like to see the new Superman, King Kong.
Oh, yeah, Chinese Superman. Yeah, he would be a cool fit into that and have his powers work a little bit more different than Superman's because he's young and he's starting out and he doesn't quite have mastery over them yet.
Yeah, and he's learning Kung Fu at the moment, so...
Oh, there you go. That would be some fun shit. They got Cheetah in there. They got Gorilla Grodd in there, which is awesome because I'm like, yeah, don't make it all humans. Think outside the box and do some non-human characters. Atrocitus, yet another good one, because it's like, yeah, you could do a whole fighting game basically just with the Lantern Corps. Yes, Despero, chat, you're right. Despero would be an excellent choice because he's a big hulking alien with psychic powers. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. Rose Wilson, Ravager, her dad was in it, just, Deathstroke, but a sexy lady. That makes sense. John Kent, yeah, I mean, it would be funny to make him DLC now because he's so big in the comics, like have him be grown up a little bit and have him show up.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I don't know how you would
I don't know
how you'd explain it in that world because Lois was pregnant, then she wasn't anymore because she died. Oh yeah, definitely Nerd Shark, Jonah Hex. I've been pitching Jonah Hex since the beginning. I don't think anyone would cream their jeans over Jonah the same way I do if he was to show up. He'd have such a great moveset, though, because he could lasso you in for attacks. He could hit you with a tomahawk. He could shoot you with his gun. Yeah, Booster Gold, definitely Daniel D. Yep, Booster Gold. That's an excellent one. Mary Marvel, yeah, her too. What if Shazam was a sexy lady?
Yeah, Mary Marvel would actually be really cool because Shazam dies in the first game. So, like, having her, like, come back for revenge against Superman would be pretty cool.
That would be really, really cool. Arm Fall Off Boy. Yes, Soapy. Arm Fall Off Boy. The greatest DLC character. I think someone else said Rorschach, too. Rorschach would be amazing because they could do it now.
Yeah, I guess they could, eh?
What Rorschach's ability? Hits you with hot oil, punches you in the face repeatedly over and over again, speaks in sentence fragments. Oh, you know what another good one would be? Like Super Dickory Superman from like the 1940s. That'd be a fun one.
Oh, the one where he'd like leave people in burning buildings and shit just to teach them a lesson and or like throw them across a river or something or trip them over or...
Yeah, we need that Superman, with just like his with the old symbol and everything, and like his entrance is just like that famous comic panel you've seen, like bite the pillow, Billy, I'm going in dry.
There you go. You call him like 1940s comic cover Superman. He's like stealing Jimmy Olsen's tears and everything, and
just that total dickbag Superman. That's the winner right there. That's definitely Onomatopoeia. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. A guy who can't talk and who only speaks in comic book catchphrases. Oh, yeah, Big Barda. There's an interesting one. Yeah. I'd play the shit out of Big Barda. And you have her finishing move. She calls in Mr. Miracle, her husband, as like a striker. That'd be a good one.
That'd be pretty cool.
You see, chat, you can't start talking about Injustice with us like this because this will literally just be the show from now on. Us just thinking of cool characters who should show up.
Well, you know, Injustice 2 is coming out, and every channel turns into an Injustice fight channel. So why not the comic multiverse?
It's true. Yeah, we'll have to definitely stream some of that because we'll be streaming via the PlayStation. We promise it'll be less buffery and less shitty. But yeah, I actually hopped back into Injustice just recently to try and remind myself how to play because it's been so long.
Yeah, and I recently just bought it.
I feel like such an idiot because I'm figuring out moves that I never figured out the first time I played it. Like, I'm figuring out how to make combos go longer now. I'm figuring out that if you press a certain button, you can actually use a little of your meter to make your move better. I learned how to do different types of arrows for Green Arrow, and I'm like, God damn it. Man, I really messed up on this the first time. But hey, enough about video games, everybody, starring superheroes. Let's talk about some comic books that are also starring superheroes. Matt, how was your week this week for comics?
Pretty good. It was actually a pretty average week in terms of like the amount of books I was reading, but I read some pretty cool ones. And the first one I read was Superman issue 20.
The fallout of Superman Reborn. We need to have a talk about Jonathan. There's something wrong with Jonathan.
There is something wrong with Jonathan, but not just Jonathan, Hamilton County as well.
Nice bit of continuity. They bring back that weird dairy farmer. There might be something wrong with him, don't you know?
Yeah, something wrong with him or something wrong with his cow.
Yeah.
So
Yes, definitely.
I have no idea what it would be. It looks kind of like a symbiote sort of thing when it attacks Batman near the end, but I honestly have no idea what it could be. I keep pitching like maybe it has something to do with the Eradicator since he's coming back.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Definitely possibly. My favorite moment of this issue by far is when Batman and Damian show up on the Kent's farm. Oh, and they are the Kents now. Now that everything has been fused together, they don't have to use their assumed names anymore. When he shows up at the Kent farm, they're like, meet me out in the barn, we need to talk. And there's this big storm raging, and Lois just comes out with her flashlight. It's like, would you idiots please come inside and sit down like normal people?
Yeah, at the Kent farm, we sit down at the table and eat pie.
Eat pie, which Batman does not eat. Batman does not eat pie. And of course, in my filthy mind, I'm just thinking they're like, oh, Batman doesn't take many trips down south, hey? He's a bit of a selfish lover, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. Batman doesn't do that shit, honey. Not on Batman's watch, and then he friggin' smoke bombs down and gets the hell out of there. But, I mean, this issue kind of confirmed something that we had been thinking for a bit there, and it's this idea that Jonathan might very well be more powerful than Superman already.
Yeah, we've seen kind of hints of it throughout the 20 issues where he's kind of been a bit more faster than his dad, or his heat vision's been a bit stronger, and the good thing is it's all been in situations where he's away from the farm as well.
Yeah, wow, that's really good continuity, Matt. I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, too, moving forward, I know one of the covers was showing him, like, exploding right there, and it kind of hit me there. I wonder, could this be remnants of, like, New 52 Superman's solar flare ability? Did he somehow pass that to him? Is that a power John's going to have now?
Maybe, because, remember, he did have the red energy of that Superman in him for a time.
Makes more sense for him to have the power too, because obviously the way they worked the solar flare power, you use it, you expend all the solar energy that's inside you, and then you're human for 24 hours. John's already half human, so
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they're going to do with him. And we know he's not going to like die or anything because he's got his own book. So
no. Of course. I wonder if they're ever going to give like a reason as to why John might be more powerful than his dad. I just assumed in my own nerdy headcanon, it's like, well, because he's already half human and because humans are used to absorbing and using yellow sun radiation just for millions of years, maybe that's why he's just a better sun absorber than his dad.
Yeah, he's more used to it and it's more efficient or something.
That's what I got from it, because I mean, humans, we get a lot of shit from the sun that we granted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we really do. And imagine if it also gave you superpowers on top of it.
Yeah.
As the chat's mentioning too, imagine if at the end of this story Connor came back. Yeah, that's kind of like a ticking clock. Like, when is Connor, if ever, gonna come back?
I think he is gonna come back very soon, or at least hopefully he does come back very soon. He has to. Like, he's still in this world somewhere. Like, where the fuck is he?
Sitting with his thumb up his ass is what he's doing. Wait until they need him. It's going to be interesting, too, because Connor hasn't met this new Superman yet. Everyone else has met him. He hasn't.
Yeah, so maybe I'm still hanging on to this, but maybe he's going to become Superboy Prime.
Wouldn't that be some shit? I know you and everyone else who's reading Superman is really clamoring for a return Superboy Prime. Why is that? Why do people want to see that? Just because it's cool?
He's a pretty big enemy of like the whole DC universe as well. Like, he's like a world-ending or universe-ending threat. Like, he punched a universe out of existence. Like, he's really powerful.
Yeah, and brought Red Hood back to life in doing so. I mean, I guess now that we know this DC universe is the same one we always know, it's not a matter of if he's out there, it's a matter of when he's going to come back, so.
Yeah, well, no, like the last time we saw him, he was trapped in the Source Wall, so all it takes is the Source Wall to be destroyed.
Which happens more times than you would think. Good job breaking it, Green Lantern.
Yeah, he's broken it a couple of times.
Fucking hell, man. You got one job, mind the wall, and you can't do it. Jon Snow's looking at you like, hey, jerk, I mind this wall. The watcher on it and shit is what I am. So, yeah, I mean, that was Superman for this week, and I think we can both agree it was pretty damn solid, right?
Yeah, it was really great.
You know what was kind of less solid, though? Batman number 20. Did you read Batman number 20?
I did. Boy, what an anticlimactic end to a story arc.
I think this comic is a perfect microcosm for Tom King's run in general on Batman. He'll lead you along, and you'll be like, wow, that was great. Wow, that was awesome. Wow, I'm really enjoying this. And then just like, hey, you want a cool ending? Yeah. Okay, well, instead we're going to sit down, and I'm going to recap my entire series up until this point, and I'm going to tell another story about why I think Batman's not particularly good at what he does. And then I might pat it out a little bit, and then it'll be over.
And then,
because that's what I do.
Batman will kill Bane with a headbutt, or not kill him, like knock him out.
Yeah, man. Who yeah, who was booking that match? Russo. That's almost as bad as the finger poke of death. If I'm going to use more wrestling terms here, come on, Batman. You need a flashier finisher than a headbutt.
I said that in my review. Like, he's able to like stop this. What's basically a human drug-fueled insane train with a headbutt.
Really, really disappointing. Like, come on, man, come on, Batman. At least give him a DDT on the concrete, man. At least give him a bat DDT out of nowhere. Give him a choke slam, do something to him. But no, a headbutt. That's how he does it. That's unfortunate. I know a lot of people were saying too, and even Tom King mentioned that this was kind of ridiculous. A lot of people were running with the idea, even our good friend Josh Hybrid, saying there that this comic does something it's never done before. It actually reveals Bruce's middle name. Like, that's the new thing that Tom King brings to this. Yeah, but I bet you didn't know his middle name, though.
Yeah, see, I changed
No,
everything.
And I never cared. I mean, I can't deny that you put a mark on this now for the first time ever. We know his middle name. You know what it should have been if I was writing it? It would have been Thomas, or it would have been Bruce Martha Wayne is what it would have been. just to fuck with people, I'd put that name in there. Why did you say that name? Why did you say my middle name? Yeah, exactly, Amazing Zero. His middle name is Who Cares, dude. It was kind of funny too that in his weird coma state he sees his mother there and everything, not his father. I theorized in my own video the reason we don't see his father is because we'll probably be seeing Thomas Wayne again in the Button as the Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah, and they probably didn't want to confuse anyone.
They didn't want to double up on that right before they end up doing that story. But yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about this too, and the moment where I probably liked the comic its most, but it ended up betraying this thing I liked, is we get to see Batman have a mission statement, which he's never really had before, and that is, I need to save Gotham Girl. I need to, have her replace me because I'm getting older. My sidekicks are moving up and going out of the house. I'm basically having a midlife crisis as a superhero.
Yeah, he saw, I guess, the part I did like was that how he saw like Gotham Girl and in an extent Gotham as these people who couldn't get hurt. Whereas everyone before him was someone who could get hurt, but now comes these people who want to protect Gotham who have superpowers and can't get hurt. And one of them turned out to be a raging psychopath and the other one's just a broken woman. So perfect.
Yeah, but and Batman's gonna fix that. And I like they have a moment there where his mother says, you never needed a good death to make me proud. You can let go now. You can let all this madness come to an end. And Batman's like, nah, I'm good. Just nah. And it's like, well, you don't need this girl to replace you. I didn't really want her to replace me. I just wanted to do the right thing. And I'm like, oh, you were so close to almost growing as a character for a little bit.
Yeah, damn it.
Which I think, too, as I have said before, I have this theory that Tom King is secretly and stealthily taking the piss out of Batman. And this was his way of saying, and you know what? And Batman never grows. And that's the problem with him. He'll come close to growing and then jump back on it is what he'll do.
If that's what he's trying to do, he's absolutely right about it, though.
If that was what you were aiming for, Mr. King, mission accomplished. You got it, buddy. You did it.
Also, this issue, we never even got to see what happened with like the other sidekicks. Like he took him to Superman and put him in those weird chambers, and that was it. We
never see Catwoman again. We never see the henchmen again. Yeah,
no, they just all disappeared.
Bane's cool henchmen. They disappear. I mean, I guess it's implied that when Catwoman got free, she freed the other sidekicks and they dealt with the henchmen. But I might have liked to have seen that. I might have liked to have gotten some closure to that at least.
Yeah, maybe we will in like the Button. Maybe that has something to do with the Button. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That one ended with kind of a thud. But next up we got the Button, and the Button's got to be great, right?
Oh yeah, I know it's going to be good because it's all been plotted out by Jeff Johns, and Tom King is only writing from what Jeff Johns has given him, so it's going to be good.
There you go. He'd have to try very hard to fuck this up.
Yeah.
And again, I don't hate Tom King. I don't hate his run. I just feel that, a lot of his stuff is a lot of sound and fury for nothing.
Yeah, a lot of like build up and like nothing at the end.
He's great at build up though. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah.
He does do pretty well at build up. What else did you have this week, Matt, that you wanted to talk about?
What did I have? I had Royals issue 1.
Yeah, and we'll never be royal. Sorry, I had to get that joke in. It's contractually obligated.
All I could think of when I was reading that book is that stupid Lord song.
It gets stuck in your head, man. It's a fucking earworm of a song.
But yeah, this was a really cool issue. It sprung out from Inhumans Prime and also Uncanny Inhumans, and we just see the Inhumans just as like normal people, more or less. They're like just a normal superhero team. There's no monarchy anymore. There's no queen or king or anything anymore. So they're just sort of doing their own thing. This issue they fight an Inhuman who was left in their Terrigen cocoon for too long, so they turned into a monster. And,
interesting.
It ends with Marvel Boy sort of telling the Inhumans what's going on, and his sort of he kind of tells them his plan, but not really. We know he wants to go back to Hala for whatever reason. We're not really too sure yet. And he says that the Inhumans should come with him because he has a secret that he needs to tell them, but he can only tell them once they get to Hala. So they all board a starship and head off to Hala, but that's not the end, because we find out Medusa is actually slowly dying from something and her hair is falling out.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Yeah, and that's where the comic ends.
Everyone loves a good hero is dying storyline, right? That's one of the things where it's like, now how do we put more drama into this? They're dying.
I have a feeling this also has something to do with the current the Marvel Inhumans movie TV show that's coming out, because we've seen pictures of Medusa on the set and she's got like short hair, so it might have something to do with
theorizing that.
Yeah.
It would make sense. Everything does seem to connect like this, doesn't it?
Yep.
I guess you talked about a Marvel book, so I should talk about a Marvel book. Captain America, Steve Rogers, number 15, came out this week.
Awesome.
The Death of the Red Skull.
Oh,
I didn't even
nice.
fuck around when I was titling this video. I just called it Dead Skull.
Nice.
It actually dovetails at the end of Uncanny Avengers number 22, because in that issue, Rogue and the rest of the X-Men get Xavier's brain out, and then in Steve Rogers' Captain America number 15, now that the Skull is weak and now that he can get him, he goes after him and kills him to take control of Hydra once and for all.
Nice. I need to catch up on them. We should do like a live stream where we sort of catch up on it or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to. That's one for the future. We'll do a nice little primer on Secret Empire when we get there for anyone who needs to get up to date, because it's a long form story. Like Nick Spencer was dropping hints for this like in his Secret Avengers run.
Yeah.
Way back in like 2014. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff to go over, because it's spread over many books. You're gonna have to catch up on that. I'm gonna have to read Thunderbolts, because apparently a lot of stuff's been going on with Kobik and Bucky over in that book.
Oh god, yeah, I gotta catch up on Thunderbolts as well.
Everybody forgets about Thunderbolts. In fact, I'm pretty sure Thunderbolts would have been canceled by now were it not big and important to Secret Empire.
What's that? What's the bet it's probably going to get cancelled after Secret Empire?
Well, here's the thing. Jim Zub is moving off that book to write Uncanny Avengers, so it's probably going to end right after Secret Empire. It's going to serve its purpose just so it can serve this big event and be done, which, is arguably a terrible way to publish your books, but hey, there it is. What I love about this issue so much, though, is that when Steve is like beating on Skull, when he's beating him to death, the Red Skull's like, no, you can't do this to me. You don't understand. I did this to you. This was me. This was all part of my plan. This isn't you. You're not acting like yourself, Steve. And he's like, I don't care. Thrown out window, dead. So the Red Skull's plan came back and bit him in the ass super hard. And now that he's dead, like, no one else knows. No one else really knows besides Kobik that personal histories have been changed and that, the universe has been altered now that he's dead.
Jeez.
Yeah. I love this idea that he was so hoisted by his own petard and that this whole thing got out of control even for him. I kind of love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it's a great moment, too, where it's like, oh, well, will his daughter and Crossbones want revenge against him? No, they start bowing to him, and they're like, hail Captain America, head of Hydra.
Oh, there you go.
He's now both the head of Hydra and the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. at the same time. He controls both.
That's awesome.
Most definitely. So that was a winner. That was a fun one. What else did you have, Matt? I imagine we read a lot of the same things this week.
At All New Wolverine issue 19.
Oh, yeah, that was this week. Yeah. Friggin' Laura running around in her new costume.
Yeah, she gets a new costume and it's a new story arc. This one's actually a really interesting one. So, as Wolverine and Gabby are on a mission, a comet hits New York and Riri Williams' Ironheart is there to stop it, and an alien child gets loose, and the only words it says is Laura's name. And upon falling unconscious, it releases a contagion into think it was Roosevelt Island, and within like a matter of minutes, S.H.I.E.L.D. is like cornered off the island, blowing the bridges, got the helicarriers over the top, aiming guns down, ready to glass the whole place, and they send in Laura to sort of figure out what's going on, because Laura won't obviously get infected or anything, or if she does, she can't come back. So they give her, I think it's 2 days or a day or something, to get the information she needs and find out how to cure this virus, or they're just going to destroy Manhattan.
Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
full
pretty
on
extreme.
book. Yeah, pretty full on book.
Yeah, I know other people were telling me there was a lot of great cameos in this one, that it really felt like a lived in New York, this issue.
Yeah, we had Ironheart, we had, I think there was a Spider-Man, there was Captain Marvel, all these really great characters, S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything, and yeah, it did feel like a lived in New York. Like, the first thing Rui does is put out a message to all heroes in the Manhattan area to stop moving, and it's like an all points bulletin sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah, I got to catch up on that one. I got my pad full of Wolverines. I need another long trip to catch up on these. I need another long plane ride. Hey, tell you what, man, I actually figured out a family member is doing like a genealogy, is doing a family tree. Apparently, I have like a distant cousin in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yes, apparently I have a distant cousin I never see in Australia. And I'm like, oh, maybe I think it's time to go see this cousin. Maybe the next time there's a con in the Australian area, so me and Matt can meet up and actually do a live show. We've worked together for like how long? Almost 4 years, and we've never met each other in person.
I know, I think it's time for a live show.
I think it's time for a live comic multiverse where, you know what? We'll be at the same mic so it won't buffer and it won't fuck up. There you go. People will like that one for certain. I guess another book I read this week was Champions, issue number 7, or as I called it on my channel, Heroes versus Copyright.
Yeah, this issue is really cool. I really like this issue.
I like it too, and you know what? I'm a big fan of Champions, and it's funny because I probably got more angry comments in this issue than I did for any other one. Like, people loved the first issue, but they've gotten considerably angrier and angrier. Everyone leaves the same comment too for Champions, like, oh, this comic is cringe, which is a terrible descriptive word. I can see why I'm the critic and they're not, because it's like, yeah, but why though?
Yeah,
no one can ever seem to give an answer as to why.
I get that every now and then, and I did get one the other day. I can't remember what it was, but it was something about it being like leftist propaganda or something. I can't remember. I know I deleted it because it was in my spam folder. It was fucking hilarious.
Which, yeah, you usually when you start throwing those words around, it's basically, you know, a chance to not listen to someone. Where it's like, what do you consider leftist propaganda? Trying to be nice? Fighting against evil bankers who illegally foreclose on people? You do know the face of evil is forever changing, right? You know Superman fought the Klan back in like 1930, right? On the radio, right? That's my favorite thing. People are like, this is all new and scary. It's really not.
No.
It's really not if you know your comic history. But yeah, I thought this was a fun issue. I think the freelancers are really interesting villains because they are the polar opposite of the champions, you know, champions who believe in things, who, you know, have very high ideals and want to change the world. Meanwhile, the freelancers just don't give a shit. They just love money.
Yeah, they're just doing it for the money and for the hits. The hits.
That's all about the hit, man. You know, they're freaking sadists. And what's interesting about it is, it's funny, a similar thing happened in Green Arrow this week too, where they're such sadists and so only care about money, they eventually like are considering turning on their evil bank master because they're like, oh, he's telling us what to do. Did we mention we also don't like authority because we also don't like authority? I thought that was fun. And of course, the big reveal, as we mentioned about the whole copyright thing, is that, you know, because the champions have such this like Gene Roddenberry utopian idea for themselves and be like, oh, we want to be more than a superhero team. We want to be a youth movement that everyone can take part of. They didn't bother to copyright their team name or team logo.
Yeah, so
which means the freelancers bought it from under. That's amazing. And they're like, yeah, well, guess what? We're going to put it on all the shit you hate and you can't stop us. And I'm like, wow, what a vindictive teenage thing to do. And I'm like, oh, wait, of course. Yeah, these are teens fighting teens. Of course, their idea was, oh, we're going to, destroy your reputation on social media and we're going to, like, copyright your thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't see, like, the actual Avengers fighting someone who would do that. But, like, to have, like, people, like, maybe around our age, maybe a little younger, do that. Like, it makes total sense. And it's something like people would do nowadays as well.
Absolutely. And that's why I love this book, because I think it really does capture the youth in a really interesting way. I'm like, man, what are they going to do next? Or, are they going to, like, blow up their spam folders? Are they going to, like, leave flaming shit bags on their doorstep? Is that going to be the next step in this prank war? Because it's like, how do you fight back against that? Oh, yeah, as Nerd Shark says, before you know it, they're going to start copyright striking their YouTube videos. That's how they're really going to get him. Yeah, man, I filed a bunch of false YouTube complaints against you. That'll show you. Got you banned from League of Legends. That'll show you. Man, now they really are fighting dirty. But yes, I like Champions, and I'm glad to hear you like Champions, too.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah, they're dealing with problems that the other Avengers don't have to deal with, and that's why I think it is a cool book. What else did you have this week, Matt?
I had Star Wars issue 30.
Oh, yeah, it felt like there was a long patch there where there was no Star Wars books.
Oh, there have been Star Wars books, just not the main Star Wars book. I think the main Star Wars book, and it's the reason why this arc felt so long, is I think it's bi-monthly.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but this one was the end of the Yoda arc that we've been getting from the Journal of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it was pretty cool. It was really long, as I said before, because it's a bi-monthly book. It makes you think the arc was longer than it is, but it was really just like I think it was like a 5 or 6 issue arc, and it just ended, and it ended in a really cool way because it sort of brought everything back in a circle, whereas Yoda's story connected up with Luke's, as he lands on the planet Yoda was on and fights the Force user that was on the planet that Yoda sort of learnt and trained and kind of went against him and everything. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, it's just like a recap of like what's been going on in that book, as well as sort of capping off this end of the story. And it kind of ends on a way that I don't know whether it's going to tie into the next arc, because I know the next arc actually ties in with the Dr. Aphra book. But this one looks like the end of this book looks like that Luke's trying to restart the heart of the planet, or the heart of these creatures that are on the planet, that the Force creatures and everything.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, he probably will do it because it's all like Force stuff and everything. It's really cool. They're really like given more depth to like the whole Force mythology and everything about what it is and everything, which is really cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm so far behind on Star Wars books. I've only caught the odd Darth Maul just because I was traveling and I had the two of them with me. And I'm like, oh, I'll read Darth Maul. I really got to catch up on those. It sounds like you always give such an amazing pitch for Star Wars.
It's an amazing book. It's still Jason Aaron writing it. And for 30 issues, he hasn't had a bad issue. It's been an absolutely amazing book.
That guy's super busy between that and the Thor books and the Thor miniseries and Doctor Strange. He's coming off Doctor Strange. I wonder what they're going to put him on next.
Yeah, they'll put him on something.
I wouldn't be surprised where it's like, we want you to do more Star Wars, actually.
I'd be okay with that.
Good. I think he could write some killer Star Wars stories. You know what else was killer this week, Matt? Green Arrow number 20. Did you read it?
I've read it, but I haven't reviewed it yet.
This is literally everything I've wanted. I don't know if we've talked much about this arc in general, but this is the rehab of Roy Harper, and I mean that literally, not figuratively. They don't actually send him off to rehab, but they might as well, because the story deals with his drug addiction a lot. This is him returning to the Arrow family, returning to the Arrow fold, and it is so good. I had such a massive smile on my face when I started reading it, because they're busting each other's balls and making fun of their bad costume choices over the years.
Yeah, I had a feeling you like this book just because of the amount of Roy Harper and what it was doing with his past and everything. It was really good.
there's a thing where at the end where it's like, you know, the past and the present all converge together, and you see him at this all important crossroad in his life. And, you know, back in the past, he chose to like run away from his problems, and here in the future, he chooses to meet it head on. And in a truly beautiful moment, he says, you know, basically, Ollie, you've been helping me my whole life. Now I see you're the one in need after losing your company and losing your credibility and all this other stuff. What can I do to help you? And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool to see them sort of coming back together. I wonder if he's going to actually stay in the book now.
Supposedly him, Black Canary, and everyone else are going to be part of the next arc, which is the Rise of Star City.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Rise of Star City is going to be bringing back a bunch of classic Green Arrow villains. Eddie is coming back, Eddie Friars. Brick is coming back again, and he's gotten a brand new redesign. He doesn't look like Afro Samurai anymore, which is unfortunate. I liked briefly in the Lemire book when he looked like Afro Samurai. And Cheshire is coming back too, so Benjamin Percy will be able to write that meeting here in this book. I wonder what he'll do with that.
Cool. I'm so excited for that. That book's been so good.
It's been really solid. Like Percy was writing Green Arrow before DC Rebirth, but he's really hit his stride here, especially with this story. I would say as it stands right now, this story is like the diamond in the crown for his run. What was really cool about it as well, and it's something I don't think a lot of people really took notice of, he added some extra dimension to the villains, because, you know, you have the Wild Dogs militia who are, you know, these, you know, racist outlaws beating up all these Native Americans for protesting a pipeline through their land. And then he gives that speech that I'm sure you've heard on the internet many times before, where he's like, oh, you know, you Ivory Tower heroes, you just don't understand. You know, we needed them gerbs. They took our gerbs. Don't you know? You know, anywhere that's not a big city now might as well be a reservation. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's really sad. And then you see like how he didn't like Broderick, the guy in charge of Queen Industries right now, and he was trying to, you know, like extort him for more money for him and his people. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe this guy's more complicated than I gave him credit for. And then we have a flashback where you see that this racist sheriff actually killed Roy Harper's adoptive father. And it's like, oh, no, wait, he was an asshole all along. He was just using it as an excuse. Okay, we're cool. We're cool.
Yeah, he's still a shitheel.
He's still a massive shitheel. It's fine. But Roy didn't kill him anyway because he knew that that would be the wrong thing to do. But yeah, that was an excellent story. That one ended on such a good note. Goddamn, I love Green Arrow, and I can say I love Green Arrow again. I really can. What else did you have going on, Matt? I had 2 more books and like at least 3 more that I haven't read yet. I'm gonna have to actually read when we're done here to put up a video for tomorrow.
Yeah, I read Justice League issue 18.
Right.
I know this book's getting a lot of shit, but I kind of enjoy this new arc with the Timeless and everything and what's been going on with that. And I have a feeling that it's probably going to feed into like the greater DC Universe Rebirth storyline. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm still reading it. But it looks to be getting a little bit better now. I think the next issue is the end of this Timeless arc, and it's been pretty cool. It's been really weird though because all the heroes are in different times. So we got like Arthur in when Atlantis was still on the surface. We've got Barry back when back at the night he got his powers with the lightning storm and everything. The Green Arrows are in the Green Lanterns are in the future, where there's the Earth Lantern Corps now. All these really cool all these really cool little universes. The problem is this issue we don't actually get to see much of that, which kind of bummed me out because they're kind of integral to the story because they have their own plots that have to converge at a certain time to fix what's going on.
Right.
But this issue we mainly spent with Batman and Superman. Batman actually got Lex Luthor's Superman power armor this issue.
Oh, nice.
He got it from the future because Lex Luthor's daughter Alexis works for the Infinity Corp and is from the future and brought it back in time and whatnot.
Oh, the Infinity Corp is back in this again. Isn't the Infinity Corp from that story that Brian Hitch never finished? That other Justice League story that he never finished.
And there's references galore to that as well.
God damn it, Brian Hitch. Did that book ever finish, or did I just not care when it finished?
I think it did finish, but like at that point, everyone was like, "So, I've been waiting for the trade," you know.
Come on, Hitch. No one read the finale of that. You made them wait too long. Don't pretend like people read that.
Yeah, that book was such a shame that it got fucked up with the scheduling, because it was really good, and it was really good for someone like me.
It started so strong.
Who likes Superman, because it was all about him and everything.
It was a total Superman story. Like, that one started out like it was going to be great, and then delays and everything else hit, and by the end it's just like, ugh. Yeah, but hey, at least it's no Dark Knight 3.
Oh god, yeah, that's still going.
There's still one more issue left. It's been how goddamn long, and there's one more issue left. That's unforgivable.
I know,
but also very Frank Miller.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I had one last book this week, and that was Nightwing number 18, and this was really cool. I don't know, I guess the feeling you haven't been keeping up with Nightwing recently, haven't you, Matt?
I kind of know where it's at and what's happening, but no, I haven't read it since the Superman crossover.
Right. Seeley basically here in this newest thing, he's doing a love letter to Batman and to Dick and Damian's time as Batman and Robin, like back in 2007 to 2011 when Grant Morrison was writing the book.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a big love letter to that time period. They fight Professor Pig, who was the first villain they ever fought together. He brings him back. He makes him cool and interesting. And then he goes to the totally next level by revealing that Pig and everything bad that's been happening to Dick since he showed up in Bloodhaven was actually the work of Dr. Hurt. Do you remember Dr. Hurt?
Vaguely.
Dr. Hurt was the big main overarching villain for Grant Morrison's Batman run. They never quite explained his origin. They implied that he might have been Bruce Wayne's father. They implied that he might have been his brother. He might have been the devil. He might have been a time-traveling member of the Wayne family. But he's back now. And apparently he cut Dick with a knife that made him see all these alternate realities wherein Dick Grayson existed in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's some crazy shit that they're bringing back Dr. Hurt. That's amazing. I couldn't believe they went there, and they went there.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. It's just a really fun issue, too. You know, again, Seeley really does love the idea of teaming up Dick and Damian together, where, you know, Dick is happy-go-lucky and fun-loving and everything, and Damian is kind of dark and morose and everything. And it's really well done to see all these villains and all these storylines, where it's like, you know, maybe you ditched these a little too prematurely. And also, Matt, I don't know if you noticed, but the thing, it stopped for a second and came back.
Oh, yeah, really?
We went offline for like a second. Yeah, we went offline for like a second. Man, the joys of doing a live show, am I fucking right?
Yeah, God.
I'm done, though, talking about books I've read this week. Do you have anything left?
No, I've still got books I need to read.
Same here. I need to read to get one up for tomorrow, actually. I dragged ass all day playing around with my new cable box and psyching myself up for this show. I put on pants, everyone, because I thought we were going to be on camera. I really did.
So did I. I even put a Superman shirt on.
You did. I saw that briefly, man. We dressed for the occasion, and in the end, it totally didn't matter. But with any luck, Matt will play around with this a little bit more because he has been upgraded to tech person. And hopefully next week, if you like this and it turned out good, maybe we're going to make this a regular thing. In fact, I think we should make it a regular thing because now we have Super Chat, because YouTube is trying to be more like Twitch, which means you can give Matt some nice donations here on his channel. And also, if you're a fan of myself and you haven't subscribed to Matt yet, please do, because YouTube has once again gone and YouTubed things up, because soon they're going to start taking away people's abilities to put ads and make money off their videos if they have less than 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So help Matt continue to do this.
That's fucking awful. Like, that makes no sense.
That's going to cost them in the long run. That'll cost them the next PewDiePie, the next whatever, because it's like, okay, you're taking away people's abilities to do this as a career.
Yeah.
Right away. I mean, I'm sure their greedy reasoning behind it is like, you know, oh, well, we spend so much money just having to digitally send all these payments out and everything of like $5, $10, $15. Why should we even bother?
Well, then they're
Let's
not going to
just
get any
save it
traffic.
Yeah, that's really lame on their part. And it's just going to push people more to Patreon and to Twitch and to everything else where you can make money and you can make donations anyway. I think, too, it has something to do with the fact that they lost a bunch of sponsors recently, or they lost a bunch of advertisers.
Okay.
And this is the ripple effect for it.
Oh.
This is the big ripple effect. It's pretty lame. But yeah, exactly, chat. Money, y'all. And I hate to talk about the dirty business side of this because it distracts from the fun, but I just thought you should all know what was going on and why we might be seeing the show over here. To be streamed live. You can still catch it regular date, regular time over on the Cape Joel channel. You can still download it and carry around with you on SoundCloud. But I figured let's experiment with live stuff. Let's experiment with video because that kind of seems to be where the future is going.
Yeah.
That's where the future is. You guys are strong. Thank you, Finn Soto. We are strong. That feels very nice. So again, thank you everyone who came out and stuck around. We had at least 30 people at one point. Again, apologize for the buffering issue. We're going to try really hard to fix that in the future. You'll be able to listen to a full, uncut, non-fucked up version later on in the week. But thank you for coming out here for this trial run. So, there you go, everyone. There was Comic Multiverse 52. Here's to 52 more episodes in the future, right, Matt?
Yeah, 1,000 more years, 1,000 more seasons.
1,000 more seasons. Get us our Szechuan sauce. Matt, welcome to the darkest year of our podcasting with cameras. And live streams and getting it all started. This truly is the darkest years of our adventures. But yes, so thank you everyone for showing up to this. Again, don't forget to subscribe to Matt's channel and don't forget to check us out on all our social medias to stay up to date on when we're going to be coming out with more videos. So again, thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.